Greetings, everyone. Merry Christmas. Although we aren't really present this week, but we pre-recorded this last week, so we still have a video up. We're gonna talk about Sonic X issue 15, which is Christmas themed to get in the mood. So hope that's gonna be fun. So how are you guys doing?
And yeah, I'm doing fine. Just dealing with cold weather. Surprisingly, it hasn't really snowed over here.
No. Oh.
Yeah, like Illinois still. Because I know last year it snowed a bit, but then it died off. But I don't know, it looks like this year December's just going to be a very green Christmas. But then, of course, once January kicks, then the snow will come.
Yeah, usually. Man, I don't think I've ever had a white Christmas. And you? How's it, Montana?
Oh, it is very white over here.
Oh, lucky you. I was
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised it's white even in Sonic X because they live in California or something. I think. But I guess we'll get to
I,
that.
I think Station Square is supposed to be New York.
Oh,
It snows in New York.
Yeah, it does feel like New York-ish.
With all the palm trees.
Wherever they are, apparently they are within helicopter distance to the North Pole.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh my god, I love logic like this. Oh, I love this comic, so that's a good start. They seem to have the same, all the stupid things of the cartoon down pretty stat, so that's good. Do I see Bark in the cover right there?
Yeah, Bark, there's a plush toy of Bark that has a cameo. That's right next to Tico and Boko.
Oh, I didn't notice.
That's a really weird
Oh, how about that?
And a Samba de Amigo, of course.
Yeah.
Cool Easter eggs that would never happen in the actual Sonic X.
And Boko is holding a Storm the Albatross figure.
Oh, even that. I didn't even notice that. Nice.
Yeah.
All these cameos. As much as Japan hates them, we love them, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, Luke isn't here. He's watching Spider-Man, or at least he's about to. So he's going to the theaters. Lucky him, all the theaters closed here. But
I got to watch it.
yeah, you saw the new Spider-Man?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty good?
It was fantastic.
All right.
Everything I could have hoped for and more.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of good things about that, but yeah, the only Spider-Man film I've seen was The Amazing Spider-Man.
How dumb of you. I saw Amazing Spider-Man 2, much better. And I saw the Sam Raimi ones.
I haven't seen the Sam Raimi ones. I know a lot of people complained about the third one, like, oh, the emo Peter and blah, 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 and lots of other things.
Of course. But, didn't
I
bother.
liked all the Spider-Man movies.
Alrighty. Spider-Man has a relatively good track record, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
But right, I guess we'll go into Sonic X. So, who wants to do the synopsis? Melting Man?
All right. Okay, so... Alright. Okay, so for this comic, it focuses on, Chris and Sonic and his friends are getting ready for the holidays, and Robotnik decides to have this new idea after studying the holiday, because apparently they don't have it on their planet. So he decides to dress up as Santa and tries to trick the Station Square to hand over Sonic to him, otherwise there'll be no toys for the kiddies. So apparently it works because, well... Yeah, so it works. So eventually Sonic decides, okay, I'll go along with it. So he manages to turn himself over to Santa. But luckily Chuck knows that something's going on. So thanks to him, he's able to stop Sonic and defeat Robotnik from ruining Christmas.
Oh man, I love this comic. It's so stupid in the right way.
Yeah, it is really stupid. Like, the whole deal with Robotnik Santa announced like, oh, give me Sonic or there'll be no toys. So you'd think it would be a bunch of kids trying to go after Sonic, but no, it's the adults that mostly go after him.
I noticed that. And that actually makes me wonder, like, that there is no, like, clear answer of whether or not Santa actually is real in this comic book. Because, like, all of the adults act like he is, but they, we never see him, and there's this elaborate plan to have Ella dress as Santa to convince Eggman that she's the real Santa Claus. And yeah, it's just very strange.
Yeah. Especially when it's like apparently all over the world too, because we see Sonic running through like I don't know, some kind of Spain company, and he's Spain area, and he's also running through France, and they all have the same thing. It's like, oh, it's the adults that go after Sonic, not the kids.
That's awesome.
There's also to take into consideration that Scarlett Garcia on her show was going to interview Santa Claus, and they at no point tried to disprove that Santa Claus wants Sonic the Hedgehog. So I guess they usually get the real Santa on their show.
Apparently.
Yeah.
And you know what the best part is? That if Santa goes, I want Sonic, I want him alive, I want him dead, everyone thinks that's in character. It's like, yeah, that's something that a real Santa Claus would say. He's like that. He hates aliens. But only one specific one.
The Santa Claus of the Sonic universe is strange.
Yeah. Like, I guess Santa's just real sour that he lost a race to Sonic that one year.
I guess so.
Oh, now that I think about it, this isn't even the first time Eggman has pretended to be Santa Claus.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because of Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh,
Yeah, the
Christmas
Christmas
Blast,
special.
yeah.
Yeah, where he had a Santa bot pretend to retire and give the reins to him, Robotnik Claus.
Yeah.
Good.
And that was an interesting one.
Yeah, the
course.
Christmas Blast one is kind of interesting, because, like, despite that it being an Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog special, it does feature some elements from Sad AM, so it's kind of interesting.
It's kind of weird because
Yeah, like,
it was made 2 years after the show ended anyway.
Yeah.
What
and I had a weird non-speaking cameo from Sally.
Yeah.
Yeah, non-speaking cameo from Sally. They feature their own versions of SWAT bots, which are just as cartoony as you would expect from Adventures of Sonic. And I think also Robotropolis is briefly mentioned at one point.
Yeah, but I guess we'll get to that next year or something. For this year, we'll take the Sonic X comic.
Yeah.
If that's wacky enough. I also love the only reason why Chuck suddenly started to doubt Santa is just because a screw fell. Because that's the one undeniable truth that Santa Claus doesn't exist, or at least it wasn't him. Because the real Santa doesn't have screws, apparently.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I think he saw the screw popping out of the reindeer, so I think that would kind of explain why he was suspicious. If it like came out of the sleigh, then that would like, well, okay, you know, bolts hold things together, so that wouldn't.
Well, no, but like, as Roger was saying, like that was the thing that gave away that it wasn't really Santa Claus. So, which means that like Chuck thought it might have been until he saw the screw.
Oh yeah, like that's not even the weird thing about it, because like that whole scene that plays, like we first see Sonic, Robotnik dressed up as Santa to try and you know, convince the people, and then when quote unquote Santa actually shows up, it's actually Deco and Boko dressed as Santa to come and pick up Sonic, and nobody questions that Santa somehow lost his nose and mustache.
Yeah. It's like nobody questioned that Santa's mustache looked exactly like Eggman's.
Nope.
Yeah.
He's
Or that his beard was not attached to his chin.
Oh yeah.
Oh, everyone's so lovely stupid in this show. I love it.
Yeah.
Can I say that this comic makes me super nostalgic in at least the darker colors, but also the advertisements. I kind of miss those in the IDW comics. You have, like,
Yeah, that
random
is true.
advertisements for video games and all that. Like,
Yeah, that kind of, yeah, that show up like halfway through the story and whatnot. I think IDW still does that. They just usually do it like after the story is finished.
Yeah, that's true. But man, this just made me so nostalgic with the weirder colors and all that. Even just the setup, how the comic is drawn, like the first page with the title and the big splash page and the whole wall of text. That's such a classic comic book thing. I kind of miss it.
Yeah. Yeah, them with that little text box, and I think that happens with all the Sonic X comics. They open up with that brief description of the show, and like, oh, Robotnik and his friends got teleported into Station Square, blah blah blah.
Alrighty.
Interesting that they clarify that they were sent to an alternate Earth, indicating that their planet is also called Earth.
That's a good point. I didn't even notice that. Oh.
Yeah, that is true.
I don't remember if that was confirmed in the show, because, like, they did confirm that Sonic's planet and Chris's planet are, like, connected or something, because, like, Sonic and everyone else being on that planet is causing some temporal displacement or some weird mumbo-jumbo. So, yeah, the two planets are connected somehow, so maybe they are just, like, alternate universe versions of the same planet.
Oh, just like with Blaze the Cat and her dimension. That's
Yeah.
interesting. I wonder if Sonic Prime, that new TV show, is going into that, because that was going to be about the alternate dimensions, right?
Yeah.
They should have
Yeah.
a classic of Blaze in a Sonic X episode, I guess. I doubt that will happen, but they should.
Yeah. I imagine it's gonna be something more basic, like, Sonic goes to Pirate Land or goes to Ninja Land, instead of, like, Sonic actually exploring all these different versions of Sonic that we've had for the past years.
Yeah, probably. But, well, we'll see what happens. Guess we'll hear it next year, huh?
Yeah, hopefully, because
Yeah.
it's either that or news on Sonic Origins. Despite them saying that we'd get more info this year, and yet we're close to the end of the year, and we still don't know anything about it.
I guess that game is falling apart. The last time I heard is that they still like glitches.
They'll tell us something on New Year's Eve,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
something is we'll have an announcement later.
Probably.
Yeah, it's like a last-minute tweet on the official Twitter account.
Yeah, Sonic Orange turning to a joke, yeah. Anyway, back to the comic. Am I the only one who's freaked out how the humans very often look directly at the camera? Has this weird art style where the humans never really look where they're supposed to look? The first splash page, for example, Chris looks directly at the camera. And also Ella never stares at what she's doing at the table. She's always kind of staring off into space.
Oh yeah, there is I know there is one explanation, like the whole bit with Chris looking at the camera or whatnot in that pose. I think that's actually an image traced from a screenshot from the show.
It is. That's Chris's, like, PNG artwork.
Yeah.
There's actually quite a few moments I recognized that characters seem to be traced from the show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Like on page 6, Sonic shrugging. That is definitely taken from the show. And the panel next to that, that's taken from episode 2.
Oh yeah, I see it. But then again,
Yeah.
even if you trace, you can at least like draw the pupils differently. I mean,
Yeah.
I have to admit, I trace a lot. I trace a lot too, but at least I changed some details that it doesn't look too out of place.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe this issue might have been rushed for the holidays or something.
Yeah, I feel like it, because I'm outside of like 2 or 3 issues, the Sonic X comics in general is brand new territory for me. But I noticed it seems like in this one and the examples that I posted, I don't know if they're going to show up here, but yeah, there is definitely a lot of tracing, which it really feels rushed.
Oh well, it's still.
But it's
very
fine. It's
detailed.
got a nice story.
The story is great, yeah, and the art looks lovely enough, has shading and all that, so it doesn't bother me too much.
Hmm.
There's also a couple of details I like also on page 6, Cream asking Santa for a new emerald, which is wholesome and very sad.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because
Yeah.
it looks like this particular issue takes place like after all the Sonic game adaptations, because we also see Vanilla is present with the gang.
Yep.
So that's kind of interesting. Yeah.
Also, the Thorndikes have a menorah set up on their table, indicating that either one of Chris's parents are Jewish.
Oh, that's an interesting detail.
Yeah, I noticed that, because, like, aside from that, there's also, like, the whole, like, big announcement, like, oh, we're gonna interview Santa, and you can see there's, like, on one side there's a giant Christmas tree and another giant, thing that they use for
Menorah.
Hanukkah. Menorah, yeah. So it's kind of interesting that they pay homage to that, and no love for Kwanzaa, apparently.
I don't know if I don't know what kind of thing they would have for Kwanzaa.
I don't know, like a dreidel or something? I know little
No,
bit
no,
about
no.
Kwanzaa.
Apparently, because you just said a Jewish thing.
Oh, that's the Hanukkah thing.
Yeah.
I'm too American. All I know is Christmas.
But hey, if they apparently can interview Santa Claus all the time, maybe they're also interviewing Christ and all the other holy figures, and maybe that's why they have an issue with some of them because they were rude in an interview or something.
They bring down Saturn himself, the original winter holiday.
Exactly. Ah, that's good.
He eats his children alive.
Nah, I thought that was Krampus.
No. His children.
Oh, yeah.
That's like the most famous painting of Saturn is him devouring one of his children.
Oh, wow.
Because that's his most famous story in Greek mythology, or rather Roman mythology, I guess. He's the father of the gods, so... But he was told, like, a prophecy that one of his children would usurp him, so every time he had a child, he'd just eat it.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
They turned out fine, though.
Yeah, well, being eaten alive is not a big deal in mythology and fairy tales usually. You just get
Usually,
spit out. Can we also talk a bit about the Christmas presents they get? I mean, what is that? What Sonic is holding? A ring? Did he get a ring for Christmas?
Yeah, he got a ring for Christmas.
Yeah, he gets a ring, even though he's done like hundreds of them. So I guess this is like a fake ring, because otherwise he'd be going into that spin dash thing and going all over the place in the house.
And so Tails gets one wrench. I think that's gonna be very helpful.
And he looks very excited about it.
Oh my god, it's a wrench!
Cream gets a teddy bear, Chris gets a toy rocket, and Amy gets a dress that is way too big for her.
Yeah, I actually thought that was an apron, but looking at it, it's definitely a dress.
Amy got the best deal at least. That looks like an expensive present. Everything else looks cheap as heck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really long. Like the sleeves, they look really long. Now we just need fan art of that. Amy wearing that ridiculously big outfit.
Maybe that dress was meant for Chris's mom, and she just stole it from him. From her.
It's a regift.
Yeah,
Chris's dad gave it to her last year, and she's like, "Oh, thank you," but it's ugly, so she doesn't wear it. So she just gives it to Amy next year.
Yeah, and then of course, Cheese gets a big candy cane.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice.
And he also looks very excited about that.
Everyone's happy except Sonic. He looks kind of... I don't know what Sonic's face expression is.
Yeah, he kind of looks smug for some reason.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah,
probably-
fake ring.
That's probably another like trace image from an episode, but yeah, that kind of smug look. I'm like, oh yeah, I know where to store this ring.
Yeah. Speaking of like tracing and like the characters not looking at what they're doing, Amy is just like staring into space. She's not even looking at her dress.
Yeah,
Cream isn't looking at her teddy bear. Tails is just staring into space as well.
Where's Chuck staring at? And Vanilla, she's also just kind of staring off.
Well, at least Tails is talking, so at least that. But with Cream, yeah, she's looking down at her shoes for some reason.
Well, Tails could be looking at Chris, I guess, but Chuck and Vanilla in the background.
Also, either Chris is enormous or Tails and Cream are tiny.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can imagine Cream being tiny, because, you know, she's the young one out of the bunch, yeah.
Maybe the rocket Chris got has magical powers. It's like a growing wisp or something.
Yeah, and all the adults in the background just doing their stock poses.
Yeah, the stock photos. Although I noticed Vanilla's dress has a lot more detail.
Yeah, guess he got a
Some
new
reason.
dress for Christmas.
Yeah, probably.
But only the bottom part. Ah, man, that was fun. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to looking at more Sonic X comics. They're all this stupid, and I love it. It's exactly the kind of stupid I love.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that when we decide to get more into the Sonic X comics. Because I'm pretty new to this, like with most of you guys, yeah.
New stuff to discover. Now I'm kind of wondering if Sonic X is kind of canon with like Sonic Archie, because they also kind of play with that Sonic is sent to a different dimension.
Well, actually, the last issue is actually a crossover with Prime Archie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's one of the issues I've actually read, yeah.
That was the only issue I've read, and it's funny because like I accidentally bought an entire story arc. Was
Oh, wow.
so I bought Hedgehog Havoc. That was like my first Sonic comic I bought. And like during it, Metal Sonic and Shadow like use Chaos Control and teleport away. And then Sonic X issue 40 starts with with Metal Sonic and Shadow teleporting into the middle of the tea party.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember reading that for the continuity of the whole story and its canonicity. As for like the actual story, not much really happens. It's just, oh, they show up and then they later teleport into Blaze's Zone, which kicks off the Sonic Universe comics. But it is kind of interesting because Robotnik in the Sonic X universe is astounded that there exists a Metal Sonic, which seems to imply that he never built one in the Sonic X series.
Your audio starting to get a little glitchy, Melting Man. That's weird.
That's
He's
okay.
turning into a Zombot again.
Brains, I mean metal.
Oh, now you sound good again. So.
Ironic.
You sound like a zombie or less a zombie. Logic.
Oh, it's just a flesh wound.
There you go, then. Yeah, good comic. I enjoyed it. Anyone else has something to say about the comic?
I mean, I like it. It's a nice, simple story. It's pretty short. It's kind of a little cliche, but you know, it's not bad. So it's a fun little read.
It's refreshing to
And-
have a whole story in one comic instead of IDW just going on forever all the time.
Yeah, and the open-endedness of whether or not Santa Claus is real is driving me nuts.
Well, it makes sense. It's drawn for children, so I guess they don't want to actually tell the kids that Santa doesn't exist.
That is a fair point.
Yeah, I think they addressed that in the comics, but yeah. Of course, my favorite bit is the whole, yeah, I like the comic itself. I kind of like how Chuck gets to have a bit of a spotlight, because it seems like they just wrote the best lines for him. Like, when Sonic doubts about whether Santa Claus is real or not, and Sonic's like, oh, I doubt Santa's real or whatnot, and Chuck's like, yeah, well, coming from a guy from a universe where animals speak is perfectly normal, then why shouldn't Santa exist?
Well, from Sonic's perspective, that should be normal, so...
Yeah.
I guess from his perspective, that you have so many humans on the planet, it would be weird. Oh well. Yeah, I like Chuck's part in this story. That was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I was almost kind of expecting when Chuck starts talking with Sonic in private, that's the moment he said Santa Claus doesn't exist. But they didn't go in that direction.
Yeah, they didn't really do that.
I was also expecting that, but then he just doubles down and says that the workshop is only there on December 25th. Meaning that not only does Santa Claus deliver all the toys in one night, he also builds them right before that.
Yeah, or maybe the workshop is like camouflage, like some kind of invisible ray, and then it just malfunctions on just that one day.
Who knows? Yeah, fascinating to think about the logic in the Sonic X universe.
I also want to point out that when Sonic actually goes to the North Pole, there's not actually a physical North Pole on Earth.
Nope.
Because there's no land there. There's some ice occasionally, but it's not like stuck in place. It's moving around. So there can't be an actual North Pole location, unfortunately.
I also love how in cartoons, every single time someone goes to the North Pole, there's always like a convenient signpost telling it it's North Pole. Which I
Yeah.
also doubt it exists in real life.
Yeah.
Oh well, cartoon logic, eh?
Yep.
Yep.
At least they got the Earth map correct, that they actually remember it's a globe and didn't just copy the normal world map.
Yeah.
It's flat.
Although Alaska and Siberia are a little too close together.
A little too close to the North Pole, so it's not too realistic, but
And
They
and
tried.
also Sweden's just kind of by itself.
poor Sweden.
Yeah.
Oh well, they tried. And besides, I guess it's not really our Earth, because in Sonic Universe, Earth always looks kind of off.
Yeah, that's always the weird thing with Earth and Sonic and whatnot. I think the only time they said like, "Oh, Sonic's world isn't Earth" or "is Earth" in the future, that was like in Archie Sonic's old continuity. It's like, "Oh, it's future Earth," and something happened. So yeah.
Actually, now that I'm looking at a map, Sweden doesn't even have a northern coastline. So I guess Norway and Finland just don't exist in Sonic X.
Apparently not. Then again, if you look at the world map in Shadow the Hedgehog's game, we actually do see how Earth looks like in their universe. It's completely off. It kind of resembles our layout of continents, but not quite.
Yeah.
So
And I
guess they're
imagine
going with
the
that.
and I imagine the map in or at least the Earth map in Sonic Unleashed is a bit different from the usual.
Yeah.
That definitely. Then again, there's no continuity when Sonic Forces looks different again, so no point in trying to understand it, I guess.
Yeah.
That and the moon is whole again ever since Shadow the Hedgehog.
Maybe Eggman fix it. I can forgive that.
Well, I know in Sonic X there's an episode where he tries to fix it, so I think after that, then Sega's like, yeah, there's your explanation, he fixed it, and they should.
Would be the first time Sonic X has to fill in a hole for the games.
According to Takashi Iizuka, the correct answer is the moon just turned so that we can't see the blown up part anymore.
Oh yeah, that's a stupid answer, yeah.
It is very... Because, like, it turned just enough that we can't see the blown up part, and then it stopped turning?
Yeah, what the hell?
Then again, didn't Eggman build more moon bases? Maybe all his moon bases causes the moon to completely screw up in how it reacts.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think what'd be great is if, in the next Sonic game, in Sonic Frontiers, if you see the moon, the exploded part is on the other side of it.
That would be great.
Indicating that it is still slowly turning.
And again, I think Frontiers is taking place in different dimensions. So again,
Oh yeah, so that doesn't even matter.
speaking of
Yeah.
Frontiers, you heard the news that apparently
Uh,
Amy is to go stalking to Sonic.
I have heard that, yeah.
You know what that
Oh,
means?
yeah.
That means Sonic's friends are literally wisps in this game.
Oh god, don't even joke about that.
Oh, I am. I'm completely convinced that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's just gonna be sad.
Especially
Well,
since
yeah,
Breath
if-
of the Wild of Zelda also did something like that, where you have to visit the wise sages and they immediately die, and then you can like equip their spirit or something. I wouldn't be surprised if Sonic Frontiers is blatantly stealing from Zelda. So
Yeah. Gee, now I just thought like, oh yeah, Amy's dead or she's a ghost and she absorbs into Sonic. At least now she can finally achieve her dream of being with Sonic forever.
I guess I doubt they'll actually kill her off, but they'll have some sort of stupid excuse why they're in spirit form.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
expecting something like that. Like I knew the new game was gonna have very little like connection to the other games, so it was mostly gonna be Sonic versus Eggman with very little continuity of fan service. But if the game is gonna be built around a lot of DLC and extra stuff later on, then I knew fan service character would show up very quickly. So I was kind of wondering how they would do it. And this is a perfect way. Just make every one of Sonic's friends a stupid wisp, and then you can have all kinds of DLCs. Like, oh, buy the Shadow DLC, and then Sonic's going to be equipped with a Shadow Spirit, and I guess he can...
And then he uses guns.
That will work.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
since the game is going to be more combat-focused, they could. I doubt it, but I would love it.
Yeah. Though I imagine Frontiers will have DLC for like costumes and whatnot. Because like, oh yeah, we'll have Sonic dress up as Link, because Breath of the Wild and whatnot. And yeah, I think the first time we've seen Sonic dress up as Link.
If they're smart, they just recycle the same model. Why not?
Yeah.
If they're really smart, they'll just let us play as other characters, but they're not gonna let us do that, are they?
They're smart
if-
and lazy, buddy.
Yeah.
So-
And if they're really smart, they would actually know how the hell a 3D Sonic game actually works, rather than heavily relying on heavy 2D platforming shit.
Something tells
Yeah.
me the new game is gonna barely be a platformer. I mean, look at
Yeah,
the
probably not.
just look at the landscapes we've got so far. Any of those look kind of platformy?
Not in the slightest, no. It,
Eh, no,
I
it's-
feel like it has to be like combat focused, right? Because like it's an open world game. They're sure there's plenty of places to go fast, but there's nothing really to like climb or do anything like that. So
Yeah, I feel like this
If-
game might be a bit similar to Defunct. It's a game on Steam, which I think I recommended this to Roger a while back, but it was just kind of one of those games where I'm like, yes, this is how you do 3D Sonic the right way in some ways, but it's a pretty short game. And there's honestly not much to do there inside of just running around. So I don't know. Maybe it'll be Defunct or something else.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, the entire point of Defunct is that you're just trying to get to a certain place, and you have to use the physics and the terrain to your advantage to go fast.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so aside from announcing that Amy is the voice that we hear in the trailer, apparently they also confirmed that Sydney Robinson is coming back to voice Amy, which kind of makes me a bit bitter. It's like, great, first Roger Craig Smith trolled the fan base about leaving Sonic, and now Sydney's doing the same thing.
Yeah. And hey, you know what other Sonic staff members said they were leaving? Pontac. So maybe he's trolling us too, and he's going to be back with a new game as well.
Oh my god.
I mean, we know Ian Flynn is writing, but who knows? We don't know if he's the only writer. He could have assistants. I guess we need a new name. Pontaf Ian?
Pontafian.
Flynn. Yeah, Pontafian.
Oh,
yeah. That'll be nice to bring that back.
Yeah, but I was literally their name as the trio of people.
Yeah, well, I think you've used Pontafian before, just in a more different sense.
Yeah,
like,
more as if it's an art style, yeah.
Yeah, that.
So that has a whole new meaning. Oh boy. I predicted the future and I didn't know.
Yeah, so, yeah, it just annoys me with the whole hullabaloo that happened with, oh, the cast is leaving, blah, blah, blah. So, I think there's only 3 possible reasons why they said about leaving and then turned complete 180. Like, either they asked for a pay raise from Sega said no, they announced they were leaving, and they're like, oh, crap, these are like the cheapest voice actors we have, we can't lose them. So, it's either that, or they were trolling the fan base, or everyone was on crack. I don't know.
Did stuff like that happen with The Simpsons all the time? That those voice actors want to leave just to kind of force Fox for a higher paycheck?
Yeah.
Maybe it's comparable.
Now they all make millions of dollars.
It's kind of funny if they would make a new Aladdin movie that probably Dan Castellaneta, Homer Simpson's voice would be more expensive than Robin Williams at this point.
Yeah, but yeah.
It would literally be cheaper to revive Robin Williams.
Probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, they actually have replaced Dan Castellaneta as the genie. The new guy, I think, sounds closer to Robin Williams than Dan did.
Yeah, I've heard of him, mostly from the cinematic version of Kingdom Hearts Coded, and yeah, he does sound a little more closer to Robin Williams' take.
Speaking of, like, I've seen, like, cutscenes of the genie in the Japanese version of Kingdom Hearts. And that guy also does a really good job, and I looked into him, and he is the, like, official dub voice of the genie, and he does really good.
Ah, nice.
Like, he does, like, all of the voices that Robin does.
I find it so weird when I hear Donald Duck in Japanese for the first time. Still having that same, like, voice, but I'm speaking Japanese. That was so weird to me. I haven't heard the Japanese genie yet, so now I'm curious. I should check that out.
I'll send you a link.
Sorry, that Donald Duck impersonation just cracked me up there.
Yeah, that was surprisingly good, Roger.
Yeah.
I can do a good Donald Duck, but I can't make any actual words. As soon as I try to say something, that falls apart.
Well, didn't you used to do Donald in your Kingdom Hearts parodies?
Yeah, that's true. But for the new one, I wanted to look for a different voice actor. Because, again, I can't actually say words. I can just make the sounds.
Ah.
Yeah, as soon as I try to actually say something, I can't get anywhere.
Well, like, maybe you could be like a filler voice. Like, just do Donald if he's, like, being strangled or choked, and then have the other guy do the speaking roles.
That's true. Could do that. Yeah, it's quite an art, doing Donald Duck's voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to learn how to do that recently, and I just can't do it.
Yeah, I can't do the Donald Duck, but I could do a decent sounding Goofy voice.
Yeah, give us an impression.
Let's see. I'll just quote a Kingdom Hearts quote, yeah. The king told us to follow the key bearer, and we found you. So as long as we stick together, it'll all work out okay. You just gotta believe in yourself, that's all.
Yeah, you got the mannerisms down. Just the pitch of the voice, maybe not entirely, but yeah, it sounds decent enough.
thing. It's kind of interesting how I noticed how at least how Bill Farmer does Goofy. It kind of has a bit of a southern twang to it, but not too much. But it's kind of there.
True.
And
Yeah.
I suppose if Rogers, Donald, and Melting Man is Goofy, that makes me Mickey.
Go
Oh,
for it.
let's go, guys!
Good, not too bad.
Yeah. And I suppose no. Roger is Sora, and Luke would be Donald.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's good. I haven't asked him to do Donald yet.
Because I mean, Roger usually does Sora. I think the only time he didn't do that was with the what was it? Halfway through the Kingdom Hearts 2 parody. Because I remember there was a quote on the old Flash version where it was some text like, "Oh, since people won't stop complaining that Sora sounds like Michael Jackson, we got a new guy voicing the character," or something
They
like
get
that.
even more complaints. Yeah, that's true. And I immediately switched back again. And I never changed it
I-
since.
I don't remember how many of the Kingdom Hearts videos I've watched, but I do distinctly remember the dumb joke of Sora forgot his Keyblade, and he's like, I will now defeat you with my backyard key.
That was the very first one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Funny enough, the Kingdom Hearts parody on Chain of Memories, that was actually my first introduction to Rogers' animated work, so yeah. I have a bit of nostalgia for the Chain of Memories one. Yeah,
Faraday?
going around throwing cards.
Coconuts.
Yeah, coconut! And then, of course, like, at the end, it's like, "Hey guys, I just remembered, why were we in this castle in the first place? Yeah, what the hell are we doing? Let's just get out of here." And they just leave.
Yeah, I mean, all stories about them losing their memories. So it would be funny if just lose the memory of why they were there.
Yeah.
Oh, and there was the joke of Donald kicking Jafar's lamp into the lava.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good thing I watched the Faz Revenge on video.
Oh, boy. I broke the fourth wall. Ah. Poor Jafar.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think he did a majority of the Kingdom Hearts games. I think he did Coded at one point, but that was a short one, and I don't think that ever surfaced on YouTube.
Oh, I should check. I think I did. I did all of them up until Dream Drop Distance, and then I kind of got behind. I still have to do the mobile phone game and the
Yeah,
weird melody
yeah,
game.
Dream Drop Distance was the last one, so now there's like 3 or 4 other games you still have to cover.
I did do a short.
Kingdom
for
Hearts
Kingdom
3.
Yeah, I did do a short for it for the Hercules World, but yeah, I have the script for the full version, but I'm a little too intimidated to start a big animation like that.
Yeah.
Epic.
If you do make another Kingdom Hearts, let me know, because my friend Lee, who did Tails in the baseball Sonic X parody, he'd probably be very interested in voicing in a Kingdom Hearts parody of yours.
Sure, I think I have a little
Yeah.
list of characters I need.
Of course, I'm all up for voicing a character in Kingdom Hearts, which I remember you sent me like a list of characters you needed years ago, but I haven't looked at it so years, and I'm sure that a lot has changed. But yeah, I'm up for like anything. Maybe for like a quick gag of me doing like an Iago impersonation.
Yeah, you do
Yeah.
Gilbert Full. Oh, jeez.
Gilbert Godfrey.
There you go.
Yeah, Gilbert Gottfried.
You can do his voice.
Yeah, I can do his voice. I think I demonstrated that like in a previous stream a while back when we just did random voice impressions.
Oh,
But yeah.
that's right. Yeah.
For like an hour. That was fun.
Oh yeah, that was great. But yeah, for like Iago, like I don't know, maybe him in Kingdom Hearts 3, it's like, yeah, why the hell wasn't I in this game? Kingdom Hearts 3 would be better if I was the main star. Or like they would just replace Donald with Iago, just like what you did with the Kingdom Hearts 2 one, replace Donald with Scrooge. Yeah, set a flare! Oh God, I'm dead.
Oh, they're both
Well,
birds.
there you go. Donald Duck dies and is replaced by Iago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
like
an
Iago
idea.
is like his stunt double throughout the whole thing, and then when he dies, like, oh, then Donald comes in.
Iago was the understudy.
That
Yeah,
sounds like a good
you know,
idea.
just gotta pay the bills between all this villainy stuff.
So many possibilities. All right, well, guess that's the last stream of this year. We'll see what happens next year. Thanks to you guys for joining me today.
Yeah, no problem.
Yep, no problem.
For a little mini stream, and we'll see you next year.
Yep. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and all that jazz.
Sure. Happy New Year. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Hi, Luke here. Well, another year has come and gone. We still have to suffer with the virus, but it's not as bad as last year. Certain restrictions got lifted and vaccines got rolled in, so it was great for me to meet up with friends and family and go to places after being stuck in lockdown for so long. But of course a new variant has to go and spoil everything, so now we have to put up with that. But I am hoping that over time things will get a lot better. I do miss my online friends and I hope to meet up with them in the new year. I think one of the biggest highlights for this year is the regular livestream format for the Dissected series, which at the moment is replacing the animated video format, as I feel this is easier for Roger to do, and it's great to spend every odd Saturday evening chatting with my mates about Sonic stuff, and made me feel less lonely and isolated. It also helped me create an awesome friendship with Salamander and Melting Man 234, who are regulars on our stream, and it's great talking with them personally. We started off talking about Sonic X and IDW Sonic issues, but we do get to branch off talking about other stuff. It is a bit hard not reading off a script like in the actual Dissected episodes, but it is great for me to talk how I normally talk and how I actually feel about these subjects. On one stream my laptop and internet connection wasn't working too well and nobody could hear my voice properly, so out of frustration I made my own blog video talking about the subjects from that stream, and I may have sounded rather vulgar about it. You can check out the video on my channel. Also I got to chat with Roger about He-Man, so I want to thank Roger for having me on these streams. I don't know if we will go back to regular animated videos anytime soon, but we'll have to see. I do think that this year is a pretty big year for voice acting for me. Man, where to begin? I'm still involved with the Spyro-like game Glide the Dragon where I voice Wing, and a demo is in development. Also there's a wishlist paid for it on Steam. I would never think I would actually get to voice in a game that ends up on there. One of my voice acting goals is to voice in a game that ends up on Steam or Epic etc. I hope this game becomes popular and might help me go towards bigger things in voice acting. There's also going to be an audio story set in the world of Glide where I'm the narrator. One of my voiceover friends, Steph, is going to be voicing an animatronic character in an indie dark ride in the US called Kooky Trails. As I know her, as well as the person who hired her, I thought I might see if I can get my foot in the door. So I tried out for a character and yep, I'm in. I play this creepy character called Rigor Mortis. Haven't been asked to do any recording for this character as of yet, and I found out that he's not actually part of the main ride, just one of the pre-shows. I don't know what that entails, like if he's going to be an animatronic as well, or an animated video that they show before the ride, but whatever it is, I'm glad to be part of something this amazing, and I can't wait to see this character I voice come to life. I'm also part of this animated series on Newgrounds called Fashion Police by Dexter Gethood. I'm in episode 2 as the reality check commander, and I will be in episode 3, which is currently in development. The art style is a little crude, but it's like graffiti street art coming to life, and I do like the certain 3D effects. Hi, just want to give a quick update that Fashion Police 3 is out now on Newgrounds, where I voice the Mark Hamill sounding character, The Scientist, so check it out. I think one of my fave voiceover projects I voiced for this year was the stop-motion Lego Batman fan film The Night in the Dark Alley by Pudgeball Productions. This is the third Lego Batman fan film I voice in, and I once again play Alfred Pennyworth. It's about Batman finding the mugger who killed his parents. It's very well animated and very atmospheric with the black and white visuals. Also, this might be a coincidence, but the way Alfred looks in this movie looks a lot like a Lego version of myself. I'm also part of this Q&A thing called the Sonic Villains Multiverse. I think it's some sort of spin-off of the Sonic Villains Q&A animation involving these OC characters, including Sans from Undertale for some reason. An introduction video has been made where I voice Dr. Cat, who organises the whole Q&A. I have tried to make him sound a bit like Jason Isaacs. At the moment, I think they're still gathering questions, so no work has been made on the Q&A as far as I know. But I am interested to voice the character again and see what this Q&A thing is like. And yes, I still have voiced for some of Roger's animations. I voiced Capital B in an animated parody of Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair, which I played earlier in the year that I pitched for Roger's April Fool's animations. It was to parody how brutally hard the Impossible Lair is, and how the bees can easily get killed as you hear their screams. The sound quality on my voice had a lot of distortion, but I rather enjoyed it, and I never saw the ending coming. I'm already brainstorming ideas to pitch to Roger for next year's April Fools. My personal life's not too bad. I still have a job in the factory. At the moment, I'm making plans to finally move out of my family home. I'm 35 now, and I think it's time to get a place of my own. I got a mortgage sorted out and sent some details to some estate agents. It's going to take a very long time, but I'm hopefully going to check out some places in the new year. So here's hoping I eventually get my own pad, pay my own bills, sort out my own laundry and meals, but also inviting friends round for a good time. I also went on a family road trip to Cornwall to visit the Eden Project, which is like a giant greenhouse for different environments, which was rather nice, and checked out the Naval Museum in Portsmouth, including the salvage wreck of the Mary Rose, the pride of King Henry VIII's navy which sank in 1545. Oh yeah, I also got my first tattoo, a small one based on the Hyrulean emblem from the Legend of Zelda games. I always wanted one, but wasn't sure if I can get one due to how expensive they are, and if it'll be affected by my skin condition. But after seeing a friend of mine having a tattoo of Darkwing Duck done, I decided to go for it. It went fine and I rather liked it. It's a little wonky, but it does make it more unique. I might consider getting a bigger one next year. Also, I think I pissed off a witch in October as me and my dad went to check out a Halloween parade that we missed due to Dad misreading the article about it, but we did see the firework display off Southend Pier. Then we went up to London to check out the Doctor Who Time Fracture experience that I was really looking forward to, as it was an immersive experience with various different storylines, but it was closed for some reason, and it had a flood earlier in the year, but we did get a refund from it. And I had a bit of a cold as well. Game-wise, I played Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury earlier in the year. I really like how they made an open world Mario game where you can go to any location and try to complete any challenge you like. They also made Bowser really terrifying like a Titan out of God of War, and you can make Cat Mario go Super Saiyan and you can go Kaiju size to take him on. In a way, it seems to borrow elements from Sonic Adventure with the stormy rain, Mario going super, fighting a giant monster, and an epic theme that's like something out of Crush 40. I've also spent most of the summer playing Crash 4 It's About Time. I was warned about how brutally hard it is, and yeah, it's pretty stressful trying to collect all the gems. I'm not gonna bother with the time trial relics, and you can fuck right off with the insanely perfect relics. I do like how the flashback tapes explains Crash's past and where Coco was during the events of Crash 1. It does serve as a nice continuation of the Crash Bandicoot series, and it runs pretty well on the Switch. I found the 2D graphics okay to get used to, and you can play as not only Crash and Coco, but a badass variant of Torna, Dingodile and Cortex himself. You also get costumes, and one of them looks like Luke the Fox if he was a Bandicoot, so I could see him as a variant from another universe where we dissect Crash games instead of Sonic. Also, Captain Theory looks more like Captain America instead of like Superman. I'm also amazed to see Metroid making a comeback in the long-awaited sequel to Fusion, Metroid Dread, which was a rumoured game title in the 2000s. They brought back the 2D Metroidvania style, which has not been seen on a major Nintendo console since Super Metroid on the SNES. I found it really fun to play, trying to get away from these evil robots that are like the Terminator, the Xenomorphs and General Grievous in one. Collecting everything can be a bit tough, especially trying to work out the Shine Spark puzzles. Also, there's this evil looking Chozo warlord who looks a bit like Darth Vader, and there may be a bit of a truth to that. Currently I'm playing Asterix and Obelix Slap Them All on the Switch. It's basically Streets of Rage with Romans, so it's Roman Roads of Rage, as you can play as either Asterix or Obelix bashing the hell out of Romans, Vikings and even pirates. It brings back memories when I used to play the Asterix arcade game by Konami. I thought this was a remake, but it doesn't have any power-ups and the bosses are more or less the same. I feel the animations could be a bit more smoother and it can be a little glitchy, but I had so much fun smashing Romans into the sky. When playing solo it can be really tough as you can get overwhelmed by gladiators, brigands and pirates. The pirate captain, who was always a pushover in the comics, can be a rather formidable boss fight and can kick your ass if you're not careful. I also like how you have levels based on certain Asterix stories with some side stories in between, including racing levels and a boar Roman punching level. I've also been watching some Netflix and Disney Plus serials. The Marvel serials were pretty good. I liked WandaVision, Loki and the current Hawkeye series. Falcon and Winter Soldier is alright, but a bit dull and had a lot of political talk. I've also been watching Breaking Bad. Yeah, that series everyone was on about 10 years ago about how a chemistry teacher with cancer became a meth cook. I found it a really fun watch, wondering how Walt would get out of that situation every episode. The best characters were Mike and Saul Goodman, which gave them their own prequel spin-off series, which was okay, but a bit boring in earlier seasons as it took such a long time for Saul to become the legendary lawyer. I also saw Masters of the Universe Revelation. I thought it was nice to see a new He-Man cartoon based on the 80s series, and it did go in a more darker direction. I do like how they made Prince Adam and He-Man look different from each other, and Mark Hamill was brilliant as Skeletor. Yeah, I really didn't like how they did He-Man and Teela dirty. I haven't seen part 2 yet, but I would say that the 2000s version was a much better revival of the series. I've talked about this more in depth with Roger, where he also talked about Spark the Electric Jester. I've also watched Doctor Who Flux, which is a 6-part story about the Doctor and her companions dealing with the flux that will destroy all life in the universe. I do find this to be much better than Series 12, and I think Jodie did a great job as the Doctor here, who will be regenerating next year, so you can tell she's giving her all in her final months as the Doctor. The story's not too bad. It brought back the Sontarans, which now look how they looked like in the classic era, and they are much more threatening. Even the Weeping Angels are a lot more terrifying. You also got a dog warrior called Carvanista, and you know the furry fandom are going to have a field day with him. You also got this side story involving this woman called Belle travelling the galaxy with her Tamagotchi that I really didn't care about. The effects are a lot more amazing here, and I would say this is one of the better serials for the 13th Doctor's era. So yeah, that's my thoughts on 2021. I think next year might get better once more restrictions get lighter and I get to socialise more. I'm hoping to see the second Sonic movie in 2022 with my online friends. And I can't believe how batshit it is that we're getting an animated Super Mario movie with Chris Pratt as Mario and Jack Black as Bowser. I just want to see it for the sheer lunacy of it. Well, it can't be as bad as the 93 live-action Mario movie, can it? I feel these movie studios want to recapture the magic of the early 90s console war. Also, I might be going to a concert in March to see Sabaton perform, which is a metal band that sings about historical events. They'll be fronted by other bands like Lordi and The Who. There's also some games I'm looking forward to, like LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, the Gollum game, and I might consider Sonic Frontiers, where, yeah, it does look like he wandered into Breath of the Wild, but I'm interested in seeing Sonic run around these environments, as it's a bit like exploring the jungle overworld of Sonic Adventure. And with a new writer, it could take the Sonic series in a much more better direction than the drivel we had in recent Sonic games by Pontaf. I mean, next year is going to be the start of a new era for Sonic, along with the Sonic Prime Netflix series, with Sonic exploring the Sonicverse. I'm interested in seeing what that'll be like. So I wish everyone, my friends, my family, the people who watch our streams, a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Wonder what the new year will bring, and what new voiceover opportunities await me, or what we might talk about in future streams. Take care, everyone. And to Roger, Captain, Sylvia, and Melting Man, as well as other guests and people that helped out, you are wonderful friends, and I'm glad to be part of this live stream group. Thank you.
Well, looking back at it, I feel like 2021 for me was more like an experimental time for doing videos. Introducing a new style for my Forgotten Media series, doing that whole Oz Month marathon, canceling the whole Gimme Chaos Theory series because I just really wasn't interested in doing that anymore. And of course, posting music from American McGee's Grimm, because I was surprised that no one has ever bothered doing that. And then, of course, there was the Forgotten Media 10th anniversary, so that was fun to do, looking back at that series and see how it's evolved over time. And I suppose 2021 was also the time when I started to feel a little more comfortable in doing my own artwork and just posting it up on there. I haven't done that much of it yet, but it's slowly getting there. For 2022, I'm just hoping that I keep my sanity in check. Because, with the pandemic still going and all these new variants coming out, and my mental health has kind of been slipping over time. But I'm still hanging in there, just barely. As for my own personal projects, I'll probably try and focus more on doing Forgotten Media, especially since I'm slowly reaching episode 100, so that'll be quite the marathon. I really want to try and get back into doing Archie Sonic, but haven't decided which one to do. Go back to doing the reviews, or do a video project I've had in mind for a while as Archie Sonic for Beginners, which is just basically giving a course history on the series as a whole. And then, of course, just having more fun with the live streams with Roger and friends. Maybe this year they'll actually focus a little more on doing Sonic X, seeing how the poor show has been neglected for so long. For drawing, I'll probably do a little more drawing, especially for 2022, because this will actually mark the 10th anniversary of Sonic Dissected, so I definitely have something big planned for a little gift to celebrate the series. As for anything else coming out, I don't know, that Sonic movie sequel is coming out. Yeah, that looks interesting. Maybe once that gets released, then I'll actually state my opinion about the film. In fact, I actually just recently rewatched it, and in my opinion, I think that the 2020 Sonic the Hedgehog film is... Yeah, I forgot.
Hello everyone, Double as an L here, also known as Roger's wife. I just want to thank the viewers for the support for Roger this year. I also want to thank Luke and Captain Theory and permanent guest Melting Man for the 2 weeks worth of work in the live streams. I hope you all have a great Christmas and a good 2022.
There we are, folks. End of the year. And how are you doing? Me? Well, I barely got half the projects done I wanted to because my job has been so brutal, doubling to tripling my workload without any compensation, so I've been looking for new work, interested in soliciting at a company called Happy Idiots here, which seems like a good place to work, just for its name alone. And next year I'll get seriously started on that, which is more short-term stress. Well, I'm already losing my sanity with all the work and stress going on, and Christmas falls in the weekend this year, so I don't even get an extra day off as usual years. Well, I desperately needed it because Christmas time doubled my workload, which is already doubled before that, and I can't recover and relax this weekend because now there's a lot of family, and those can be mental time bombs, and my grandfather recently died, and my grandmother's dying, and my regular dad is in the hospital where tests are turning his mental stability into chaos. My mom's depressed, I can't see any of my friends because of COVID, and I'm racked with guilt because I can't finish any of the projects I want, and yeah, I've had better days. Anyway, let's talk about something more upbeat. The future Sonic games. Yeah, very upbeat, huh? Actually, it is very upbeat, because Sonic Roboblast 2 is about to have a new update, and I'm looking very much forward to that. That fan game went from a mild curiosity to one of my favorite Sonic games of all time, period, so I can't wait to see what they improved on. I learned a lot of new cool tricks to work into my own levels. Heck, I recently made a new level based around City Escape, and I'm very happy about that one. It's starting to get closer to the kind of Sonic game I always wanted to play. A nice mix between happy, colorful, upbeat, dumb fun, and a lot of insane macho energy. It's playable now if you download the old DLC. The level design competition going on right now, or at least I hope so. It's not been released yet since recording this video. I've entered the level in that competition. I'll doubt I win. Most of the folks at Sonic Roboblast 2 are much more focused on pure hardcore level design and complex engineering of the in-engine structures, while I'm much more off in my own little world, trying to turn their sophisticated hardcore platform game engine into an interactive cartoon, because I'm weird like that. But hey, it ain't about the winning, it's about the feedback you get from the judges. And like I said, I think I learned quite a few new tricks. One trick I'm happy about is I can make vehicles come at you and hurt you, which is what I was trying to accomplish in my Solsticentia level pack. Sonic running across a dangerous highway with traffic coming at you has always been a cool concept I can't believe the official games or even any fan games really put much thought into yet. Sounds like a cool set piece to me, but hey, that's where I'm for, I guess. And in this competition, there's also a lot of other levels with interesting concepts going on I'm kind of paying attention to. There's one level that has some incredible badass Batniks programmed in, and I want to figure out how to make those myself. Like, really following Sonic and start shooting lasers at him and all that, and that's exactly that kind of macho energy I'm looking for. But yeah, enough about Sonic Roboblast 2. I'm not sure if anyone really cares here. And besides, I might make a solo video about it someday, or maybe before the end of the year. It's not like I'm able to finish any animation before the end of the year now. But let's talk about Sonic's official future at the moment. Alright, well, I wanted to talk a lot about what's coming up with the Sonic games in the future, but maybe I should better wait for a different day to talk about that and make a specific separate video of that later this year. After all, I'm kind of busy right now and don't really have much time. So I'll owe you that one. It's not like I've been able to finish any animations or other videos before the end of this year anyway, so I might as well focus on that now. Anyway, yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I hope to have one last video just talking about my thoughts on the upcoming stuff of Sonic later on this year. And yeah, for now, we'll just keep it at this. So yeah, see you all later. Bye-bye.